Hello folks, welcome back to Reality Check with Arvind Swaminathan. It's been quite a week. Things have moved odd sort of way. For instance, the farmers are back. Why? 99% of the demands concern only the state and the state government. Why are they messing up at the center? Unless the Indie bloc. The whole thing suggests that all they want to do is make Mr. Modi look silly or create problems for him when none exist. Which is in keeping with what they've been doing, disrupt anything, make sure the government can do nothing. Now that doesn't make sense, it never did. Are these the sort of people you want running this country? I mean, do they make any sense at all? Corruption is what they mean and what they want. They're a little annoyed because all their avenues of looting the economy are being closed down, one by one. As when he finds it, he comes down on it with a very heavy hand. It's a cash crunch now. Now you've got the Congress party saying, we're being targeted by the ED and the income tax authorities. And even the High Court has said, damn it, you've had 2 years in which to pay your income tax, why haven't you done so? Now if they take action against you after 2 years, why are you cribbing? You deserve it. Now the other things that have been happening, the CAA has been notified. And of course this report from Mr. COVID had been sent to the President on one nation, one poll. Now both these are very important, not just from an economic point of view, but also from a national point of view and a state security point of view. You see, the CAA is not designed to take away the citizenship of anybody as long as they are Indian nationals. I know on the news channels you come across people who say, but equality, you cannot discriminate based on religion and so on. Well, you tell me which laws have been made which are not based on religion and religious inequality, whether it's the central government or the state government. You see what Karnataka has done? A grant of 100 crores to the Waqf board to improve and maintain their properties, which they should never have had in the first place. 200 crores grant to churches to look after Christianity and so on, and to spread Christianity. And what have they done to Hindus? All donations to Hindu temple, they're going to take away 10%. Even worse, they say the temple trust boards will now be run by non-Hindus. I mean, can that make any sense at all at any time? Is that not discriminatory? How would Muslims react to Hindus running their Waqf board? Added to the fact that once the Waqf board takes over your land, Sharia law comes into play. So I mean, there are two separate sets of laws in this country. One is for all land dealing, and the other is for the penal code. Now how can you have this? What kind of nonsense is this? Now coming back to the CAA, what is it basically for? It is to stop steady influx of illegal migrants. How did they come in? Well, they all came in via Bangladesh and into Assam. Why? Because in 1986, what happened? Rajiv Gandhi, in his stupidity, made this amendment to our law, the citizen laws. What? He said all those who came across from Bangladesh into Assam, not West Bengal, only Assam, up to, I think, 1971, they're going to be granted citizenship. Why? Even today, people keep telling the authorities, my folks came in 1965, 1970, and they get citizenship. Does that make sense? No. We already have a large population. We're trying to control that and keep it within limits. Why? Because whatever we do in terms of economic or other progress gets followed up by the increase in population. Now this problem is made much worse because of the rapid infiltration for illegal migrants. Now this particular amendment from 1986, you know what it has done? Assam now has a population which is more than 70% Muslim, all of them from Bangladesh. Do remember, in 1947, all these characters decided they can't live with a Hindu population. They had opted for West and East Pakistan. Now East Pakistan is now Bangladesh. Why they want to pour back into this country and ruin whatever we have? They don't know how to do anything themselves. Why are they trying to ruin our country? This is why the CAA is necessary. Why? We do not want illegal migrants settling in this country because they are settled in odd places and then used for creating riots and disturbances and anti-development activities. We don't need that, thank you. We've already got too many problems which we're trying to come to terms with. We don't want this sort of rubbish. And this is what the opposition is playing into. They're past masters, veterans in the art of disruption and making sure that no work ever gets done. They've been doing that since the 1920s. They've had more than 100 years' experience in this. And it's about time they were removed from our society and not given any prominence, no positions of power. Now you understand why the CAA is necessary. Because now, to get citizenship, you have to provide proper paperwork, proper entrance, visas, entry permits, and so on. Without that, they should not get citizenship. In fact, they shouldn't even be in this country. You find one, send him back. We have to get very strict on it. As some of the legal experts have said, our laws are so weak, which the Congress has, for 70 years has done nothing about. Anybody can come in and say, yes, I'm Indian, and he gets citizenship. Does it make sense? I mean, you go to Shaheen Bagh, people have been there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and they've got Aadhaar card, they've got PAN card, they have ration cards. For all practical purposes, they are Indian citizens. And yet they've only been in this country for 2 or 3 weeks. The other classic example, 370. A girl or a Kashmiri girl marrying a person of India, an Indian citizen, she used to lose her Kashmiri status or her Kashmiri citizenship. But if the same girl married a Pakistani, not only would she remain Kashmiri, but he could apply and become a Kashmiri citizen in 3 or 4 or 5 years' time. Whereas an Indian citizen could never become a Kashmiri citizen. Now you understand 370. Why that had to go. Similarly, the CAA. Do you know how many illegal migrants there are in India? 3.5 years ago, it was 6 crores, which is 60 million. Remember, not 5 or 6,000 or 550 or 60 lakhs, 60 million. The whole of the population of Britain or the whole of the population of Canada and Australia dumped into India. That's not funny. Because not only do they come in and create problems for our resources, but worse, they create massive unemployment to people who are genuinely Indian citizens. Now, these characters come here, they put a strain on our food, employment, all sorts of water, electricity, all these requirements. They take up jobs, they undercut Indian citizens. Why? Why is this permitted? And the opposition wants them to continue and increase in numbers. It doesn't make sense. It never did. But then these opposition people never did make sense. I mean, people like, what, one of these guys, the congressman says, you have Chinese phones, Chinese TV sets, Chinese this, Chinese everything else. Yes. Why? Because the same Congress's parents and grandparents ensured that nothing could be made here. That is why 30 to 35% of the millionaires in Silicon Valley in the US are of Indian origin. This CAA is not designed to take away the citizenship of genuine Indian citizens, but definitely to find out who are these newcomers who want Indian citizenship. Are they legally here? Should they be here? None of this, oh no, they've come here, they've been here, they should become Indian citizens. No, I'm sorry. There are many Indian citizens who are not able to find employment because of these ones coming through. That has to stop. Without proper paperwork, you should not be here. I, for one, don't want India to become an Islamic country. I'm sorry. And this seems to be their aim. Let's get this straight. Do not spread lies. That, oh, Muslims are going to lose citizenship. They're not. Those who should be here will remain here. And I'm hoping those who came illegally will be sent back. We don't need them here. We have plenty here who need employment and food. Because these people also are a big strain on the rations which are distributed. And that too, they get them free. This is the vote bank of the opposition. Why? Because the opposition does not have any legitimacy when it comes to proper government. They're so steeped in corruption. I'd rather not go into it because it's such a sickening thought and a sickening scenario that I just don't want to delve into it. So please, do not disrupt the workings of this country. Try and make sure that things continue smoothly so that we can go forward rather than be held back into the old Hindu-Muslim stupidity. We don't need that. Now, I said this a long time ago. I even wrote it in my book. Almost every month, every year, there is an election somewhere or other in this country. Hence, I, for one, would welcome this one nation, one poll. Now, the recommendations or what they believe, this commission that is set up to look into this, has been handed over to the President. I hope the President looks at it, and I hope it becomes law before long. Because the amount of money, time, effort, and problems caused all over the country, almost every month, every year, is so huge, it beggars belief. Why do we allow it? How much money is wasted every time for every election? How much effort goes into it? Effort which should have been going into development. Money that should have been going into startups. Money that should have been going into setting up infrastructure is being wasted on these elections. Now, whether they're panchayat elections, Zilla Parishad or district elections, municipal elections, city elections, state elections, parliamentary elections. Somewhere or other, there's something going on every month, almost. And the election commission, I really feel sorry for them. They don't have any time to sit back and even say, that one's done. They don't have any time to recuperate, recharge batteries before they start for the next one. There just isn't time. One is finished, another one begins. And then they get it in the neck all the time. Why? The EV machines are rigged, and this is done and this is not right. I mean, somewhere you've got to draw the line. Not only the amount of money being wasted, but the effort that's being wasted, the riots that are created in certain places, the number of people who get killed and who lose their lives and so on. It beggars belief. Nobody seems to care. And when this government cares, you say, no, you mustn't be allowed to care. I mean, what kind of nonsense is this? You've got a government that's finally wanting to rationalize everything, codify everything, and make sure things run smoothly. Infrastructure, framework, government to run smoothly so that things actually move in the right direction. They want to ensure that taxes are collected. Why? Without money, without taxation, where do you get any development? You think of 70 years of defense imports. Why? Because nothing was made here. And nothing was made here because it just wasn't allowed. The old Congress governments ensured that the DRDO and HAL and so on, all they did was twiddle their thumbs. Quite often they couldn't even find a fly to swat. Now what were they doing there? And yet the moment Mr. Modi comes and says, look, I want results, they produce results, which means they're not stupid. They had it in them all the time. They just weren't allowed to do anything. Why? Because of corruption. The old Congress party, they wanted everything to be made abroad. They would buy it through their middlemen, send it here at a huge profit. And the commission or the difference in between, because they become the middlemen, they went into their pockets. And it always went in their pockets outside this country. It was invested outside for the benefit of those countries. Now, this money is coming here. The tax money is being used for the benefit of our country. That is why now Modi can say, make in India. Indians can do it. We're now beginning to believe, yes, we can. Instead of the old Congress belief, which the present Congress is still trying to drum into us, that if you're Indian, you're useless, you can't do anything. It must come from abroad. They've even busily sold Indian interests to the Chinese Communist Party. One wonders, who are they rooting for? Whose side are they on? Or are they trying to make India a Chinese colony? It looks like it. They don't want to develop any infrastructure on the border areas. Why? So that even our troops can't get there. The Chinese walk in and keep on salami slicing. Where do we go from that? What do we get from it? We get nothing. They get huge bits of territory, our territory. And then these same opposition people point fingers at the government and say, you've done nothing. You haven't been able to stop the Chinese from taking over Indian territory. Do remember it happened during Congress times. The takeover of Indian territory by the Chinese. Even the occupation of Kashmir, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. That was also during Congress times. Nothing has been done to get it back. We're trying, but we don't want to have to go to war over it. We're hoping good sense will prevail. Anyway, all this depends, you see, revolves around how much money will we save by having one set of elections. If you want, you have Lok Sabha and state assembly elections in one go. It shouldn't be very difficult. I've seen it. It has happened before. In certain states, it has happened before. I know I voted. I think it was in Gujarat about 30 years ago. It is possible. On a second date, you can have all your other local elections like municipal elections and Zilla Parishad or Panchayat elections. You can have all that in one day. Why not? Then the election commission can sit down, have a good look, what is a better way and a quicker way, more efficient way of doing the same thing for the next one. But it gives them time and breathing space, which right now they just don't have. They're at their wits' end too. Come on, have a heart. They need a break too. Politicians just seem to think, anything can be done, whatever we want. I mean, damn it, what do they do anyway? I mean, Rahul Gandhi is supposed to be an elected representative from Wayanad. What has he done for them? He spent months on these walks around India. And that too, he's getting paid to do it. Parliamentary funds pay for him to be there. Why? When he can't be bothered to even attend Parliament or Parliament session, why is he paid? So, saving of funds is essential. Where else will this government or any government find money for projects? You see all these huge projects being invested in, developing infrastructure, waterways, canals, irrigation schemes, you name it. Where's the money coming from? Tax money is being collected. A lot of money is being saved from unnecessary expenditures being cut out. Where else would you find money from? And successive Congress governments have kept saying, we don't have any money, we don't have any money. Why? Why were no taxes collected? Because the Congress has always wanted a cash-based economy rather than a bank or check-based economy. Because a cash-based economy means there are no records. Whom do you tax? Where do you collect taxes from? Now, for once we're getting some accountability. You don't want that? I do. I pay taxes, a lot of them. And I don't mind that. Because when I demand or expect certain types of protection from the state, I must pay my share of it too. That's part of that's the other side of the same coin. You can't have one without the other. You can't have all the protection the state offers and somebody else foots the bill. No, you have to. That is why this government wants to stomp out corruption. Not correction, corruption. And this ongoing Mr. Kejriwal, the so-called honest man or honest Kejriwal, the so-called purely honest, what did he spend on the Chief Minister's house? Just painting inside and outside the house. 29 crores? What was he painting? Gold? Or the gold brush or the paintbrush was golden? 29 crores. That's 290 million. Boy, that must be something. I'd love to see that one of these days. clean. Wow. And we told he spent, to get that house built and ready and so on, 173 crores. This is called integrity. Now, how much of it was actually spent? How much has been sort of sidled out here and there back into his pocket? Where is all that money going? It certainly couldn't have gone to build a house. I mean, a 3-story house. That means a ground, first, second, third floor, and a big full basement wouldn't cost more than 6 to 8 crores. Painting, marble, this, that, and the other, the works. So how does he build something for 173 crores? That's 1,730 million rupees. Honest Sam? Wow. How much of that was necessary? How much of it could have been saved for development in and around Delhi? You understand what I mean? One nation, one poll. How much can you save for development and further progress? Well, folks, I hope you like this one, because these are current topics and they are ones for the future. Please think about it. Pass it on to your friends and groups. Like, subscribe. Because these are important things. And we mustn't just say, oh no, it doesn't concern me. It does. It concerns every one of us. Because it's our money that's been squandered and looted and sent abroad for the benefit of other countries. Remember what I've said earlier. The Congress Party always considered India to be their colony, never an independent state or nation. And they're trying to prove it too. And now every one of your indie bloc people treat their own state in exactly the same way as their colonies, to loot, plunder and pillage, not to develop. West Bengal is a crying example of it. Anyway, folks, thanks. Bye.